We are just 3 runs away from India achieving glory. Yes, India are just 3 runs away. It is a bit of an anticlimactic end though. Gongadi Trisha was bowled by Stonehouse as she tried a hoik across the leg side. But India just need 3 more runs for what will be a landmark moment and a historic moment in the history of women's cricket in India. Yes, we are just 3 runs away. All the Indian women cricketers are waiting by the boundary, flag ready to ensure that they run onto the field in Potchefstroom at the JB Marks Oval, because what we are going to see in the next couple of minutes, and that too 3 runs later, will be etched in the minds of a lot of cricket fans for years and years to come. Yes, January 29th, 2023 is a red letter day and a golden day in the history of women's cricket in India. Because now you are going to see Hrishita Basu. She is going to be there, and if she scores the winning runs along with Soumya Tiwari, then we shall see what will be the celebrations, and I promise you it is going to be an epic celebration indeed. Much deserved, and for one captain, it is a story of redemption. It is the story of a perfect birthday gift at this point in time. So 12.5 overs, 66 for 3 runs needed of 43 balls. We are building up to a crescendo of what was Super Sunday. We all thought that the other events would be there. Novak Djokovic winning the Australian Open, India versus New Zealand, the second T20I, the Hockey World Cup. But this Under-19 Women's World Cup final, an ICC Under-19 Women's World Cup final, the win is the ultimate cherry on top of the cake. It is one of the greatest moments that India will have. After 1983, after 2007, 2011, 2013, 2012, if you have to look at it on the under-19 scope, 18, 22, we now could have a glorious moment when we look at what is going to happen in 3 runs time at Potchefstroom. So it has been a dominant display from India, and England, unfortunately, a dominant show in the league stages, Super 6 and in the semi-final, where they got out of jail against Australia. But now it looks as if their luck has run out, and it couldn't have come at a very bad time indeed. So there is still a little bit of suspense. They are wanting to drag it as much as possible, because 66 for 3 runs more needed, Soumya Tiwari on strike, and it looks like Hannah Baker, who is one of the leading wicket takers in the ICC Under-19 World Cup. Perhaps they may want to play her out, because Soumya Tiwari is taking her time to ensure that, and it's been chipped over a cover now, and that's why it is 2 runs and the scores are level now. The scores are level in the Under-19 Women's World Cup final at Potchefstroom. India are just 1 run or 1 glory hit away, and Soumya Tiwari, it is going to be an epochal moment even for her. Hailing from Bhopal, she was one of the players to watch out for in this Under-19 World Cup. The top order luckily fired, and that is why it has been a splendid show. Oh, and I think we could have one more major. No, there's a stumping appeal from the England keeper, but the square leg umpire firmly says no. So Hannah Baker is bowling her final ball, and can India actually get it off this delivery? 1 run needed, 37 balls are remaining at the JB Marks Oval in Potchefstroom. India are really gearing up for what will be a historic moment indeed. And it's just a matter of time now. Let's see what happens after this one delivery. Remember, it is slightly clouding up at Potchefstroom. Remember, there were chances of rain, but luckily it stayed away long enough for the match to have a result. We just hope that Soumya Tiwari does it, and there it is. 7:35 p.m. IST on January 29th, 2023. India are the new Under-19 Women's World T20 champions. Yes, breaking news for all of you joining us at this point in time. 7:35 p.m. IST, January 23, 2023. January 29, 2023. India women's team are the new Under-19 Women's World T20 champions. They have beaten England by 7 wickets. And in the process have created history. Shefali Verma, if you have to look at it, has done an MS Dhoni here. Yes, inaugural edition of the World T20 in South Africa, MS Dhoni led his Indian cricket team to glory, and that has remained their only World Cup success since in the T20 format. Fast forward to 16 years later, Shefali Verma and her under-19 team have scripted history in Potchefstroom by beating England by 7 wickets in the final, and they are now the under-19 women's World T20 champions. And let it be remembered that the under-19 format is India's ultimate format to boss. 2018 they won the World Cup, under-19 World Cup. In 2022 they won the under-19 World Cup by beating England, and now they have once again beaten England in 2023. The women and boys, the boys and the girls, both dominate the under-19 cricket setup unlike any other team in the world. So this was a very, you may say, one-sided encounter that we have seen in Potchefstroom. Shefali Verma had pointed out that yes, we wanted to win the World Cup because it was not only an ideal birthday gift for her, but she wanted to overcome the pain of 2017, 2020 and 2022. She was part of two of those where India unfortunately came second best. So how did the match progress at this point in time? So India won the toss and they chose to bowl, and they had England in all sorts of trouble at 16 for 3 in 4 overs. From that point in time, England never recovered. The highest scorer for the England team was Raina McDonald-Gay with 19 of 24 balls. Alexa Stonehouse and Niam Holland were the others who got to double digits along with Sophia Smale. For the Indian women team, Titash Sadhu from Bengal, 2 for 6 in 4 magnificent overs. The dismissal, if you may say, of one of where the ball cut back in to knock away the stumps, it was the dismissal of the year for me. And then you look at Archana Devi from Unnao, Kanpur. She picked up 2 for 17. Parshvi Chopra, one of the leading wicket takers for India in the under-19 women's World T20 tournament, ended with 2 for 13. Mannat Kashyap from Patiala, 1 for 13, but once again economy rate of just over 4. Shefali Verma got the wicket of Hannah Baker, and Sonam Yadav from Firozabad, 1 for 3. And in response, India were hardly troubled. Shefali Verma hit 15 of 11, 1 4 and 1 6. But unfortunately, she was dismissed by Hannah Baker. It was revenge as sweet as it comes. There was some flutters when Shweta Sehrawat unfortunately top-edged to Grace Scrivens, giving her a wicket. But from that point in time, Gongadi Trisha from Telangana and Soumya Tiwari from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh strung a very important partnership which included 46 runs. After that, it was left to Soumya Tiwari to score the winning runs of the bowling of Hannah Baker, and that is why it is a fantastic moment in the history of women's cricket in India. Remember, they all came into a central contracted system only around 2015-16 period. And since then, India women's cricket team has grown from strength to strength. This win, how big is it when you look at the landscape of women's cricket in India? The 2017 World Cup loss was the final opportunity for the likes of Mithali Raj to ensure that they had World Cup glory. Unfortunately, they came up short. But the exploits of the India women's team in 2017 ensured that they got a base and that people would really catch on to it. The 2020 T20 World Cup was watched by 86,000 spectators at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. India unfortunately came up short, but India showed that they could compete. The same situation has been happening ever since they reached the semi-finals in 2018. They were within 1 or 2 balls away from reaching the semi-finals of the 2022 World Cup, but unfortunately one costly no ball and that saw them out. When it comes to this particular tournament, when we looked at the likes of Shefali Verma and Richa Ghosh, two players who already had a lot of international experience, you knew that India would be one of the favorites. And that is how it was. They began the league stages in tremendous fashion. They chased down 170. Shweta Sehrawat of New Delhi, she was the star with 92 of 52 balls, which included 20 boundaries. And that set the tone for India's dominance. They demolished the UAE, they demolished Scotland to top the group. Now, what happened in that entire period from the Super 6 stages? They carried forward 4 points into the Super 6 stage because the likes of UAE and South Africa qualified. Now, the first game that they had, against Australia. They were hammered for 87 and Australia chased them down very, very easily indeed. So what happened after that? Shefali Verma admitted in the pre-match press conference before the final. She said that loss had really hurt us. We were unsure whether we are going to reach the final. We did not know what to do. We could not sleep. We were mentally very bogged down. But the team came together. They knew what they had to do and how they had to do it, what were the roles assigned to them, and in a massive, massive way, they turned their fortunes around. A clinical win against Sri Lanka in which they restricted them to 59 for 9. And after that, they put on a superb showing against New Zealand in the semi-final. Remember, what the men could not do, the women have finally achieved it. The girls have shown that they can be world beaters as well. New Zealand have been the bogey team for a lot of Indian teams in the past. Now, Shefali Verma's side have managed to do it and they defeated New Zealand, setting up a clash against England. Now, in the game against England, I had mentioned at the very start of the preview that England had not faced the guile of Parshvi Chopra and Mannat Kashyap in a big way. And that is what undid them. Parshvi Chopra in particular managed to totally entangle them, and Mannat Kashyap ensured that runs were at a premium. But it was Titash Sadhu, her left arm pace, her right arm pace, and the seam movement that she was getting from the JB Marks Oval in Potchefstroom that ensured that England never got going. Remember, 2 low scores. They were bundled out for 99 against Australia, but Australia themselves self-destructed. Now here, England self-destructed, knowing very well that they could not handle the guile of Parshvi Chopra and Mannat Kashyap. Titash Sadhu's 2 wickets for 6 runs for 4 runs was really, really an ace up their sleeve. And when 69 runs were needed, you knew that the game was in India's hand, because in the history of Under-19 World Cup finals, you look at history of ICC events, no team had posted such a low total. The closest anyone would come was the 2006 Under-19 World Cup final, in which Pakistan and India squared off. Pakistan made 109, but India were bundled out for just under 90, and Pakistan won in dramatic fashion there. So that is the one final which can be close. But here, this was a brilliant, brilliant win for 2 reasons. Number one, this comes at a time when the Women's Premier League in India is getting momentum. And perhaps this league, with its inception from March onwards, could match up to the level of the Big Bash League where Australia are playing with. Remember, Australia already had the first movers advantage with the Big Bash League in 2013-14 itself. So the Women's Big Bash League has produced a lot of stars, and the Australian core itself is one of the best in the business. So that is why the Women's Premier League could bridge that gap in the coming days or so. So that is one major thing. The Under-19 World Cup victory is important for 2 reasons. Now, number one, women's cricket in India will be taken a whole lot more seriously. And second, this will now give India a future talent base for ensuring that they can be those constant supply feeders that will enhance the Indian cricket team, the senior team, in a big way. Now consider this one important aspect. The India women's under-19 team, they were on a winning streak ever since the last 1 year. You look at the quadrangular that happened. India, Sri Lanka and West Indies. So dominant was the India team that they had to field 2 teams in that. They demolished New Zealand final prior to the tournament, where the likes of Shweta Sehrawat led the team. And prior to this tournament, they had wins against even Bangladesh as well. So heading into the tournament, they had a very competitive challenger series also, where all these youngsters shone. And after that, the wins against New Zealand, the wins against Sri Lanka, West Indies, Bangladesh and all gave them plenty of momentum. So the one loss against Australia was buffered by the fact that they carried the maximum points forward. And that was the main reason why, even if they had lost, they could have won against Sri Lanka and still assured themselves of qualification, because the net run rate was way too high for them. And that is how India managed their Under-19 World Cup journey in a big way. So for people who are joining us now, let me update you on what has happened at a very, very historic moment. 7:35 p.m. IST on January 29th, 2023. India were crowned the ICC Under-19 Women's World T20 champions. And it cemented Shefali Verma's legacy as a leader because she has done what MS Dhoni did, winning an inaugural tournament in South Africa on the very first attempt. Now, what has this done? It has erased the pains of 2017, 2020 and 2022 in a big way, because women's cricket has always been second best when it came to Australia, when it came to England. The Commonwealth Games lost as well, because that was a time India were looking at winning and they collapsed at the most inopportune time. The same even in the World T20 as well. No contributions. 2017, an epic collapse against England that Anya Shabsol took 6 for 46, and that is how India could not win by 9 runs against England at Lord's. So England's 2017 loss, that has been erased. The 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games loss has been erased. Shefali Verma now can proudly say two things. One, she got her perfect birthday gift. And second, she is the first India women cricketer, and this whole team, the first batch of India's women cricketers that can proudly hold an ICC trophy. That's how big this is. Once again, digest these words. India women's cricket, the first batch to hold an ICC trophy, means massive to them. And that is the main reason why women's cricket now will have a sea change when it comes to India. And so, if there are some of the comments that we have to look into, let me just read one of the comments that, if you may say, Nushin Al-Qadir. Remember, Nushin Al-Qadir, she was part of the 2005 World Cup where India lost for the first time in the final to Australia. In this, she's saying, fabulous. This is the feeling we have been waiting for very, very long. And even Richa Ghosh spoke at that point in time. This is the first time we won the cup and has come with the under-19 kids. Just shows the kind of depth we have and what is there for us in the future. Now, looking at the World Cup, prior to this, there was a special visit by a very, very special athlete, Neeraj Chopra. Neeraj Chopra had visited the girls in Potchefstroom and he had dished out some very, very important advice on pressure, on how to handle the big occasion. Who better than Neeraj Chopra? And Potchefstroom has a very, very cool history with Neeraj Chopra and now the India women's under-19 team. Potchefstroom is the venue for the India women's under-19 team, but this venue also played a big role in the rehabilitation of Neeraj Chopra, because after securing CWG and Asiad success, he had a very chronic elbow problem. Now, because of that, he was away from the sidelines for a very long time. What was the first event that he participated in? It was an event that was organized in Potchefstroom in 2019. That throw and the performance that he put in Potchefstroom ensured that he could have the base for greater success. Who knows, at this point in time, India can now lay a springboard from where they can get bigger success. It all begins from Potchefstroom. So in reality, if you have to look at it, it has been a fabulous, fabulous show from the India women's cricket team. And this is not overnight. It isn't out of the blue. It has come from 1 year to 6 months of consistent performances outside of the World Cup. As I mentioned, the quadrangular series, India played 2 teams. Such was the depth. They still won that. India blanked out New Zealand final in the T20 series that was there heading into the World Cup. They also blanked out the likes of Bangladesh. They only suffered 1 loss in this entire period, and that was to Australia when they lost by 87 runs. And so, I will now look at what are the other comments that are coming in. Nushin Al-Qadir, remember, Shefali Verma, even in the pre-match press conference in the final, she had created Nushin ma'am's influence, that she kept everybody calm. She was very confident, and that is why she could do it. Now, I knew they had a bad game. I'm again reading Nushin Al-Qadir's comments. I knew they had a bad game against Australia, but the way they have gathered and played thereafter, we kept it very simple. I thought we would just play proper and simple cricket. We should achieve this. So, as I had mentioned, the Australia game was one of the biggest turnarounds that was there at this point in time. And that is why it is very, very important to acknowledge that you need to have one bad game in order to have success at the global stage. But if that bad game comes in the semi-final or in the final, then it is unfortunately your bad luck. And that is what has been plaguing the India men's and women's senior team at this point in time. Remember, India has been starved of success in ICC events for a very long time now. 10 years that the senior team hasn't won any. But at the same time, you have also achieved success in the under 19 level, 2018, 2022, and now 2023 when it comes to the women's team. So now the men, the boys and the girls have been winning. Now it is the turn of the senior team to ensure that they can win on a consistent basis in major ICC events. So that is how this whole tournament has evolved at this point in time. India, England, Australia were supposed to be the teams who could challenge for the under 19 World Cup trophy. India and England came into the final. India boosted by two players who have already had a lot of international experience in Richa Ghosh and Shefali Verma. I'm sorry. Then you were backed up by players like Parshvi Chopra, Gongadi Trisha, Shweta Sehrawat, Titash Sadhu, Mannat Kashyap and Archana Devi. These were the players. Now you have to remember all your heroes. Where have they come from? Let us begin with Shweta Sehrawat. Shweta Sehrawat started playing cricket at the age of 7 and she started honing her skills by watching her younger sister, by her older sister play, and it was at a very, very prestigious club, Sonnet. Sonnet has produced a lot of world-class cricketers from Delhi, and unfortunately we lost him. There was a super coach in Tarak Sinha. He unfortunately died, but Sonnet, because of the reputation, Shweta Sehrawat is one more proud alumni from that particular institute. Parshvi Chopra, hailing from Bulandshahr but currently staying in Noida. Why? Very sorry. She is actually training at the Yuvraj Singh Academy and her favorite cricketer is Yuvraj Singh. Parshvi Chopra wanted to bowl pace. She wanted to become a pace bowler, but she then turned to becoming a leg spin bowler, and look at the success that she's got. You look at Gongadi Trisha. At the age of 2 and 3, she was hitting about 1,000 balls in practice. That was how skilled she was. That's what her father claims in one of the interviews that he did to one of the media outlets. When she got a chance to meet Mithali Raj, her world changed. Gongadi Trisha, even at the age of 10 and 12, she was hitting bowlers almost a decade older in domestic cricket for runs. So there is something very special about Gongadi Trisha, who is a self-professed Mahesh Babu fan, by the way. Then we look at Mannat Kashyap. Mannat Kashyap from Patiala, her father is a doctor and an avid cricket watcher. But when she wanted to start playing cricket, Mannat Kashyap just did not have anybody to coach. It was only after going through the hard grind in local and domestic cricket that someone agreed to coach her. And that is how Mannat Kashyap honed her skills. And you see her economy rate in this entire tournament, it's been under 5. Mannat Kashyap is a very special talent and we hope that we see more of her in the Women's Premier League and for India soon. You look at the other unsung heroes, Titash Sadhu. Her 2 wickets for 6 runs played a vital role. But who is her role model? Her role model is Jhulan Goswami. Jhulan, there was a bit of Jhulan in the way Titash Sadhu bowled. The leap and that too, the way how she released the action, it was a bit like Ishant Sharma as well. So Titash Sadhu, who is a Chinese food freak, she idolizes Jhulan Goswami. And oh, by the way, did I tell you who was Shweta Sehrawat's favorite cricketers? Virat Kohli and Smriti Mandhana. Shweta Sehrawat has ended the ICC Under-19 Women's World T20 as the leading run getter with 297 runs. Because she was dismissed in the final, her average came down slightly. But what a tournament. That 92 that she hit against South Africa was apt. It was a tribute to how Delhi plays its cricket. Aggressive, backing to the hilt. A lot of Sehwag about her, but her favorite cricketer is Virat Kohli and Smriti Mandhana. So that is how you look at it, and let us see if there are any more comments that have come from this. And there was a comment by Richa Ghosh. Titash Sadhu has been nominated as the player of the match for her brilliant haul of 2 for 6. She says, "It's really surreal. Have been looking forward to this day for a long time. We had a plan in our mind and thankfully we executed what we planned." So Titash Sadhu has gotten the player of the match award. The first time, which coach Nushin Al Khadira said, the first time he won the cup and has come with the under-19 kids. Remember that. What the women's senior team could not do, the under 19 girls have done it, and that is win a major ICC event. One hopes that this under 19 success lays the platform for the women's senior team to do well in the upcoming T20 World Cup that will be held in South Africa. Remember, February 12th, the India women's team take on Pakistan in the opening game. On February 2nd, India take on South Africa in the Tri-Series final as well. So there is plenty. If we have to look at it, Soumya Tiwari from Bhopal, the one who scored the winning run. Soumya Tiwari hails from Bhopal and has been players to look forward to, and that is why apt tribute to this. And hats off to all these stars, because at this point in time, when you look at it, all these 5 players that I mentioned, along with Shefali Verma and Richa Ghosh, they have laid the foundation for so much of glory in the under 19 World Cup. And so that is why now I will look at a few questions that people may be asking me, all our family members will be asking me now. So I will look at some of the questions that is there. Let me just have a look. And yes, Grace Scrivens, she was the bowler who gave England that epic win against Australia by taking that final wicket. Now, unfortunately, she will have to play second best all over again. Finally, Grenville de Rogo, finally, women's team have an ICC trophy. The loss of the 2017 ICC World Cup still haunts me. This is a sweet revenge for that. Grenville, absolutely. That loss, the 2017 World Cup was iconic for a lot of ways. Number one, Harmanpreet Kaur's 171. That was the knock which put Indian women's cricket on the world map, because that knock knocked Australia out. And in the final against England, had they won it, it would have been a 1983 moment. But unfortunately, a big collapse, which saw Poonam Raut getting LBW for 86. Then the likes of Veda Krishnamurthy, she threw her wicket away, unfortunately. And then Jhulan Goswami couldn't help it. Anya Shrubsole's 6 for 46 ensured that England would win by 9 runs. It was indeed a big dagger in the hearts of Indian cricket fans. And Mithali Raj's expression after the match showed that yes, it was a golden opportunity missed. Then Vivek Kumar, congratulations. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to the India women's team. And Shreyas Harnale, thank you so much for this. And so that is why now we are going to see any other comments which are there. And I think we will see Grace Scrivens. Grace Scrivens is saying, I never really played abroad. Amazing experience, and heat is something I had to deal with. So they were undone by the heat. The England women's team had to adapt to different conditions. We train a lot in the nets and try to put that match in practice. Carrying on from Titus Sadhu, the spinners backed up really well. We have played 2 matches and watched all the games that happened here and had a pretty good idea where to bowl. I want to thank them from my heart. So it will be very interesting to see what Shefali Verma says now. I think we'll get a quote in the next couple of minutes, because now the presentation ceremony is happening. The England women's team, they have gotten their medal. Now it will be the turn of the Indian girls, and after that we will see the celebrations that will go well into the night now, because India winning the under 19 women's World Cup now, and the celebrations and the things that will come when they arrive in India, it is going to be something very phenomenal indeed. So these young girls, the likes of, remember these names, Parshvi Chopra, then you've got Titus Sadhu, Gongadi Trisha, Soumya Tiwari, then you've got Shweta Sehrawat, then Archana Devi. All these players, remember them, because they are now going to go places after the Under 19 World Cup trophy, and these players might get a big buy in the Women's Premier League also, because the auction, the Women's Premier League auction is slated to be held around February 12th in Mumbai. However, looking at the India-Australia series, they might push it to 14th. That is the current thing that we are getting at this point in time. So it is really a superb situation that we are seeing, that India and their medals that will come now, and Shefali Verma for once will not have a silver medal, she'll have a gold, and the trophy will be hers. So it is indeed a very special moment if we have to look at it. So any other? Gautam, our both men and women under 19 team undefeated in the World Cup final. Yes, Gautam, I mean, look, The India men's team have been in three finals and have won 2 titles. The India women's team now in their first attempt have made it. So Mohammad Kaif, Unmuk Chand, you'll have Prithvi Shaw, Yash Dul, and now you've got Shefali Verma. These 5 superstars of the India under-19 team. And don't forget, there is also a certain Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli, Unmuk Chand, Mohammad Kaif, Yash Dul, and Prithvi Shaw along with Shefali Verma. 6 players, 6 captains who have helped India win the Under-19 World Cup. It is truly a prestigious list to be in. And the Indian boys defeated England in the final, and the Indian girls have beaten England in the final now. And so the India women's team are getting their medals as well now. And congratulations, yes, the congratulations are just pouring at this point in time. Hari Jha is asking me, who are you seeing in women's IPL auction to be selected from this under-19 women's team? Hari Jha, that's a good question. I will say that looking at all I had mentioned the 5 names, Shweta Sehrawat, Parshvi Chopra, Gongadi Trisha, Mannat Kashyap, all these players could fetch big bucks. And looking at the performances here, I would say give Shweta Sehrawat a big go in the Delhi team, because she will also be your captain. Remember, she did captain the team when India beat New Zealand final. I expect Shweta Sehrawat to go for big bucks. I expect Parshvi Chopra to go for big bucks. And to a certain extent, I will say Mannat Kashyap. These are my 3 players who are in the radar when I look at the Under-19 Women's World Cup. Because now with these performances, especially with Shweta Sehrawat and Parshvi Chopra topping the runs and wickets column, they will get a big buy in the Women's Premier League. Although a disclaimer should be added that most under-19 under-19 winners don't get that much of a buy when you look at the IPL. Yash Dul is a classic case. Prithvi Shaw was another example. Shubman Gill was another example. All these guys did not get that much of a buy. And in the current scenario, Raj Hangargekar, Raj Bawa, Yash Dul, even in 2020, Ravi Bishnoi, all these guys, they didn't get that much of a buy when you look at in the IPL. So it can vary according to the team. But Shweta Sehrawat and Parshvi Chopra, definitely I'm looking at them getting big bucks in the Women's Premier League at this point in time. And are there any other questions that is there? No, I think Star Tara is saying, congratulations Indian girls, very well done, keep it up. So yes, what will Shefali Verma now say? I think now she is very emotional. Yes, Shefali Verma is shedding tears of joy. And remember, there has been plenty of opposition when you look at it, when you look at Shefali Verma, how she had to come up. Opposition from her neighbors, opposition from a lot of people, and in a male-dominated society, Shefali Verma had to trailblaze her own way. And looking at how she has done it, it is truly remarkable that the girl from Rohtak has now garnered big success on the world stage. In the pre-match press conference, Shefali Verma made it a point to thank her father profusely. And yes, it happened. Her father will be a very proud man, because he backed her to the hilt. And because of that, Shefali Verma now is a World Cup winning captain. From the bylanes of Rohtak, now in the glorious JB Marks Oval at Potchefstroom, it's been a great journey for Shefali Verma, and it will only get better as it goes. Because remember, Shefali Verma, as I had mentioned before, those tears that she said that she had in the presentation, it was truly, if you may say, tears of joy. Now, if I will look at any other comments that have been said, and I will look at it, and player of the match, player of the tournament is Shweta Sehrawat for her 297 runs. Oh no, actually player of the tournament with 293 runs and 9 wickets is Grace Scrivens. And if you have to look at it, any other comments? Yes, Grace Scrivens is the player of the tournament. Shefali Verma is really, she's unable to control her tears at this point in time. And all the girls are incredible. The way they are performing, backing themselves. She thanked the coaching staff. And when the achievement finally came, she shed tears of joy. And now we are seeing Shefali Verma go up, and there it is, the cheers, the smiles, the laughter. And yes, I'm also doing the jig at this point in time, because It is a moment to celebrate. For long, women's cricket has not gotten the ultimate recognition that it should get. Now, January 29th, 2023, 7:35 p.m. onwards, we hope that women's cricket gets as much importance and leverage as men's cricket does in India at this point in time. So yes, Shefali Verma, brilliant indeed. And that is why I will just see what else has Shefali Verma said about all this. And I'm just looking at it. Yep, obviously that is what the England captain has said. Obviously we are gutted with the way it went today. Our batting let us down. We have been so strong through this tournament. All these girls are unbelievable and I love captaining the side. And yes, perhaps this moment with the smattering of the Indian fans that are there at the JV Marks Oval in Porchester, a proud moment indeed. And the realization now, it is really surreal. Even for us, it is going to take some time to digest in because it has been 10 years. And ever since that 2017 Lord's loss, women's cricket has come a long way in India. We remember this entire team of superstars from the bottom of our hearts. All these individuals have etched their names in folklore now. So the first question, the trivia question that will be there for generations to come now. Who was the captain of India's first under-19 World Cup World T20 tournament? It is Shefali Verma. Who was the player of the match? Titash Sadhu. Who had the maximum runs for India in this tournament? Shweta Sehrawat of Delhi. From Vasant Kunj, who played for Sonnet. And who was the leading wicket taker for India? Parshvi Chopra from Bulandshahr, Uttar Pradesh, currently honing her skills at the Yuvraj Singh Cricket Academy of Excellence in Greater Noida. And now Mannat Kashyap from Patiala. Truly it is balle time. Everybody, the champagne is out. Everybody is absolutely delirious with joy at this point in time. And let me just sum up the final words that Shefali Verma has just said. I am not sure they were all very pretty wickets, but I'll take them all. Okay. And okay, I think I seem to have lost it in the translation here. So let me just see. Okay. Yes. All thanks to the staff, the way they have been backing us every day, and because of them we are here. This is Shefali Verma. All thanks to them. The players have been backing me a lot. Thanks to BCCI for giving me this beautiful team and really happy for winning the cup. And she has been excellent. She has been excellent and has followed all the plans from the start. Not just her, Archana Devi, Soumya Tiwari, and I can't really take the names, but they have all been incredible. No, definitely not. When asked if this is the only tournament she's going to pick up this season in South Africa. So Shefali Verma could very well be available for the Women's Tri-Series final. And also don't forget, February 12th, the Women's T20 World Cup begins for India. India taking on Pakistan. That will be a thriller. But for now, it is a joy. And yes, what a moment. Neeraj Chopra is also there from the stands. Neeraj Chopra is also there from the stands cheering this occasion. The party will go on all night long at Senwest Park at JV Marks Oval, Porchester. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. It has been a privilege to bring you a historic moment in the history of Indian cricket. Press the like, comment and share button and tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Revel in the joys that the India women's cricket team are going to be at this point in time, because it is a special moment. I am off to do my dance. Thank you. Bye-bye. Vanakkam.